perhaps are your options?
Well, I suppose I just cut back a little bit. I'm not quite sure. I've never really asked anyone about it.
Okay. All right. So I guess for today, what we can offer you is basically I have a booklet here, and what's the deal on quitting? And it's a really good booklet that it's a do-it-yourself guide to quitting cannabis. And again, this is absolutely up to you. Okay, it's all about a choice whether or not you want to stop or cut down your cannabis use. But certainly that booklet might be might give you something to think about. And some people find it really difficult to stop smoking cannabis by themselves. I'm wondering, do you think it would be difficult to do?
Oh, definitely. Like everyone where I live at the moment, my housemates smoke it a lot, so it's always around.
So that can be really difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So in addition to this booklet, what I'd like to give you then is a brochure perhaps to take away. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we actually have drug and alcohol services in the area, and they work all the time with people who are looking at cutting back or stopping cannabis use. So they have a support line. So I might just give you that brochure as well to see, it's something for you to think about in terms of changing your pattern of use.
Okay.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about the outcome of today, Ben?
Yeah, good. I feel, it should be something I should look into.
Yeah, okay. Look, thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that you've taken the time, and the doctor should be available now. So
you can see that by using the basic principles of motivational interviewing, the nurse was able to engage Ben and raise concerns about his cannabis use. She used the frames model to conduct the brief intervention. Providing personally relevant feedback is a key component of a brief intervention. For Ben, this started with the explanation of his assist score, and information was provided about the risks associated with his current cannabis use.
What it actually says is that the pattern that you're using, the cannabis, can actually potentially cause you harm, if not already.
A key principle is for the person to understand that they are responsible for their own actions. This sense of control has been found to be an important part in motivation for change and in decreasing resistance. The nurse affirmed throughout their discussion that ultimately the choice was Ben's.
This is absolutely up to you. Okay, it's all about a choice whether or not you want to stop or cut down your cannabis use.
A central component of effective brief intervention is to provide clear, objective advice in a non-judgmental manner. The nurse first determined that cutting down was an option for Ben, and then provided relevant advice.
Today, what we can offer you is basically I have a booklet here, and what's the deal on quitting? And it's a really good booklet that it's a do-it-yourself guide to quitting cannabis.
Offering a range or menu of options allows the person to choose the strategy most suitable for their situation. In Ben's case, the nurse offered a range of options from self-help material to local drug and alcohol services.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but we actually have drug and alcohol services in the area, and they work all the time with people who are looking at cutting back or stopping cannabis use. So
throughout the brief intervention, the nurse expressed empathy by asking open-ended questions, listening carefully to Ben's answers, summarising, and clarifying her understanding of his situation.
I'm wondering, do you think it would be difficult to do?
Oh, definitely. Like everyone where I live at the moment, my housemates smoke it a lot, so it's always around.
So that can be really difficult.
Self-efficacy is a person's confidence in their ability to make a change. It is particularly useful to elicit self-efficacy statements from people, as they are more likely to believe what they hear themselves say.
So, looking at these results, what do you think perhaps are your options?
Well, I suppose I just cut back a little bit. I'm not quite sure. I've never really asked anyone about it.
Even a minor change after a brief intervention can be enough to avoid the harmful effects of drug use in the future. Although Ben has a long road ahead, he's certainly taking some positive steps.
Hey, Mum.
Yeah, it's me. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, uni's good. Oh, you know, nothing much, usual stuff. I'm actually thinking of coming home this weekend. I'm thinking Friday? Yeah, that'd be good. I miss him. I love you too. Okay, bye.
So as you've seen with Ben and Mel, the assist can make a difference in primary healthcare settings. Now let's explore how the assist can be used in acute care settings. I've been invited to attend an assist brief intervention training session for emergency department nurses.
So the key is to link the appropriate intervention with a patient risk category. John.
Jen, hi. Can I join you all?
Please do.
Hi, everyone.
So we're now about to put theory into practice with a role play. And in this scenario, the patient is Eddie. Now, Eddie presents to the emergency department in the early hours of the morning following a fall. So let's meet Eddie.
You should be able to get in and see him in about half an hour. If you'd just like to take a seat and someone will come and get you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all right?
Dad, please, stop it.
You got your Medicare card?
It's in my wallet.
You got your wallet?
Yes, it's in my pocket. I need to see a doctor. I've hurt my leg.
All right, have you got your Medicare card there?
Yeah. Where is it?
Do you want me to get it?
Dad, stop.
It's all right, take your time.
There it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what the waiting time is?
Oh, it shouldn't be too much longer. All right, if you'd like to take a seat, and the triage nurse will be with you shortly.
Great.
Come on.
Okay, just...
So let's do a role play. One person play the role of the nurse who's looking after Eddie the following day. You find a great opportunity just before lunch to administer the assist. For the person playing the role of Eddie, there's more information about him in your workbook. Go.
Okay, question 1. In your life, which of the following substances have you ever used?
I smoke cigarettes, pot, I drink alcohol, and I've used GOE a few times.
Question 2. So in the past 3 months, how often have you used the substance that you mentioned?
Well, I haven't smoked for 5 years and haven't used pot or speed since my 20s, but I do drink every day.
Question 3. Eddie, during the past 3 months, how often had you have a strong desire or urge to drink?
I'm not sure it's an urge. I suppose it is, because I have to have a drink every day.
Okay.
And question 4. During the past 3 months, how often has your use of alcohol led to health, social, legal or financial problems?
Well, I went DUI again last month and I hurt my ankle. So I guess you have to write that down twice.
Question 5. During the past 3 months, how often have you failed to do what was normally expected of you because of your alcohol use?
Well, I'm a cook, so I've missed a few early breakfast shifts, so pretty much weekly at the moment.
Okay, question 6. Has a friend or relative or anyone else ever expressed concern about any drug?
Yeah, my ex-wife still nags me about my drinking, and she won't let me see the kids now. Now my dad's nagging me too, especially since a DUI charge.
Okay. Question 7. Have you ever tried to cut down on using any substance but failed?
Yes, I tried to give up cigarettes 3 times. It took me 5 years, but I finally did it.
Okay.
I gave up pot and speed without any problem.
Excellent.
I've never really tried to give up alcohol or even cut down. What's the point?
Okay, thank you.
And question 8, have you ever used any drug by injection?
No, I've never injected drugs.
Okay.
Okay, so back in the large group now for a discussion. And John, would you like to join us?
Pleasure.
So, any comments, questions, concerns from the role play at all?
Well, I don't think the real Eddie would have been as friendly and forthcoming as the role play Eddie.
And why is that?
Well, Eddie looked pretty angry in the scenario.
I think it's a really good point. Asking Eddie questions on the assist as he arrives at an emergency department is really not a good idea. He's clearly in pain, he might be intoxicated. And I think the way that your scenario worked in the role play to ask him questions the next day at about 11:30 is a really good idea. Eddie's clearly going to be more comfortable, and in fact he might also have had the chance to reflect on his alcohol use. It's a good point.
Yeah, I didn't even know what go it was.
Yeah, okay. Do you know what it is now?
Yes, speed, amphetamines. So what if that happens in real life?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and because there's so many different names for drugs and new and emerging drugs, and it's impossible to list them all on the response card. I've always found it's just best just ask the patient. They're usually quite forthcoming with information about what drugs they're using. Any other questions, comments? All right. Okay, the big question, in what risk category did Eddie score? High. Everyone agrees? Good. Okay. So I want you to think about your own practice now. What would you do next?
Ring the drug and alcohol team.
Ring the drug and alcohol team. Perhaps, can anyone think of something before that?
Do a brief intervention.
Brief intervention, excellent. Now, what would be the focus of your brief intervention, do you think?
I think to help Eddie raise concern about his alcohol use and perhaps get him to agree to have a further assessment with the service.
Terrific. Okay. So back in your pairs, let's do a brief intervention.
Shall we? Yeah. Have a think about the situations where you can use the assist. Practicing with a linked brief intervention is a great way of building your confidence. As we've discovered with Mel, Ben and Eddie, there are various situations where a nurse can ask a person about their drug and alcohol use. The assist starts that conversation. It gathers information about individual risk and it helps to motivate change. Whether in private practice, a medical centre, a hospital or any other healthcare-related environment, the assist followed by a targeted brief intervention helps nurses to make a difference. So now it's over to you. Who knows the impact you'll make in encouraging people to make a different choice?